So there's going to be a civil war, and 90% of people that you see out and about probably couldn't even run around the block, let alone fight someone, let alone deal with a prolonged conflict where they're going to be in fight or flight 24/7 and figure out how to navigate that landscape when shit really does hit the fan. You better pray the grid doesn't go down, because everybody thinks it's going to be a cool scenario like The Walking Dead or The Road or whatever. But think about it realistically. The grid goes down, there's no electricity. If you are prepared and you do have a generator, maybe you got 2-3 weeks of fuel and you're going to use the generator. You got to use the generator, right? Because you have a freezer full of meat and a fridge full of food, and you have all your dry goods and canned goods and freeze-dried stuff, and that's all fine and good, but people are going to hear your generator. They're going to smell you cooking food. And speaking of smells, what happens when there's no running water and people need to use the facilities? They can't. And most people don't understand that. So the stupid people were going to take their drinking water, they're going to pour it down the toilet to make the toilet work, and then they're not going to have drinking water, and they're going to realize what a bonehead mistake that was. So then they're not going to have water. The people that don't have a generator, who won't be able to keep things cold, their food's going to go bad, and if they need insulin or any other medications that have to be refrigerated, all that's going to go bad. So then they're going to expire, because those are life-saving medications. And if they can't get them, then they're not going to be alive. And if they're not alive and the grid is down and there's no services, there's no ambulance that's going to show up with a body bag to take the person away to the morgue where they have a freezer. So what happens when you have biological entity that has expired and you have nowhere to put it, and you live in a normal neighborhood? And what happens when that happens hundreds of times, all over the place? Now, if it's winter, that's helpful, but when the weather heats up, that's a problem. That's cholera, that's all kinds of a mess that you don't want to deal with. And that's just one part of the issue, right? So the sanitation problem, where's everybody going to go? They're going to dig holes in the backyard? And then you got your trash, right? There's no trash collection. So then you have bags of trash piling up everywhere. You have rodents, you have bugs, you have the smell, the stench, and the stress. Now, if you're in a rural part of America, might be a little bit better, but it's not good any way you slice it. So these are the things people don't think about.